The following is a presentation of the Eagles Sports Network.
Hi and welcome to the Eagles Sports Network. I'm Caitlin Jones, standing alongside head track and field coach David Needs. So I want to kick off the interview. You guys just came back from SAC championships. Just tell me a little bit overall, how was the feeling of that meet? How were you feeling about the results?
Well, we feel really good about the third place finish for women. For our women to finish that high, that was the first time we've ever been third. And so really proud of them. When you sweep the long jump and you do real well in a lot of other events and you have some winners, got to be real proud of our ladies. Our guys were in the mix all the way to the end. I think we were third all the way up to the last race, and then we got passed up. And for the injuries that we kind of battled through with the guys, it's to finish fifth. We don't measure moral victories, but it was certainly very good to finish fifth and have a chance to compete as we did.
So we found out just recently that both Khadijah and Sade will be going to nationals. I know that that's in Pittsburgh, Kansas. Right. Tell me a little bit. Let's start with Khadijah, for example. Tell me a little bit about her progression over the season and how you're feeling about her performances.
Well, both of these young ladies have been All-Americans, so it's not like this is brand new to them. Right. So when we called them yesterday, they were like, "Well, you made it to nationals," and they were like, "Yay, good." Not like, "Oh, I can't believe it. This is the greatest thing," because this is their third straight time going. Right. For Khadijah, though, Khadijah brings so much. She scored 18 points at the South Atlantic Conference meet, and then you look at where she is. She's a great long jumper, All-American long jumper, but she's also a great hurdler. And is provisionally qualified in the hurdles. She won't go because she's not one of the 16 to 18 best. Right. But she's near the top. And so, for somebody like that, you really are proud of what she brings. And just, with Khadijah, there's not a lot of fanfare. It's just this willingness and this confidence that, whatever you ask her to do, if we said, "Hey, we're going to ask you to run the 3,000, she'd say, "All right, I'll try. I'll do my best," And so, to have somebody like Khadijah is great. And then, for Sade, what we look for or get from Sade is we know we have an elite sprinter, and we know that she's going to be, one of the best as we go through, especially in the 60, because that's really, really her race. She hates the 200, and as some of our short sprinters do. But, one of the things that we get from her, is just a level of consistency. And you think that she's been injured most of the season and got a late start and missed a lot of training because of a nagging injury. And then to be able to come out and run still a nationally elite time and be one of the best and be the second best in the conference, and the person who's in front of her right now is second in the nation. So at our conference meet. So, we know, and what I love about Sade, just like Khadijah, is when the moment gets big, they get bigger, right? They don't fade from the challenge. And so when we go to nationals, that's why both of them have scored at nationals, because they're not afraid of the challenge.
So I know I was watching Khadijah's interview actually after SAC championships, her winning the long jump, and something that stuck out to me was her saying, "You just have to love what you do." Right. Not only Khadijah, but can you speak to both of these ladies' mindsets and who they are, not only as an athlete but as a person?
Yeah. So, what we get from both of them is vastly different personalities. Sade is somebody that certainly brings a big personality to a lot of things, and Sade's in the room because she's just got that great personality, and Khadijah's a little bit more quiet. But their work ethic is very similar, very, very similar. Sade, we know, is after she comes back from nationals, she's flying to Africa to represent her country at the African National Games, so in the track games. So just you have these ladies that aren't just good at Carson-Newman, and they're not just good in the South Atlantic Conference, and they're not just good in the NCAA, but they're good in the world, and so to be at that level has to give that quiet determination, that to be driven towards something successful, and that's what makes both of them special.
You mentioned, they've been All-Americans before, so this isn't their first time seeing a national competition. Right. Do you find that eases some nerves, or how do you all kind of approach this meet since, we've been here before, but it's still a very intimidating and big thing to do?
Well, for Sade, she was a little nervous because through the injuries, didn't have all the meets that she wanted to go to, but she was essentially 17th, and they take between 16 sometimes and all the way up to 20. And so she was like, "Coach, am I going to make it? Am I going to get in?" And she finished 17th, and they took 20 in her event, so she made it with spare. But I think what this does is through this is there's this I've been there before. I've done this, and as I go through, I kind of have the mental preparation of being successful, and I don't have to overthink it. I don't have to overdo it. I just need to be me, and just do what I need to do, and then I can be successful.
So let's talk mindset going in. What are you as a coach, as you all head to Pittsburgh, Kansas, going to be telling these two ladies as they kind of prep for this event?
Well, I'm glad they don't see me before they race, because usually I'm praying until I hear the gun or right before they go run down the runway. So, I remember one of the runners that was with me last year said, "Coach, do you pray every time before they run?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, every time," and so. But I think, what our preparation looks like in getting ready to go to Pittsburgh, Kansas is I've got 2 veteran coaches that have done this before. I've got 2 veteran athletes that have done this before. This is our 18th straight national championship that we've gone to. So, there is that sense of, been there and done that. But we got to remember that these don't come every day and all the time. So we've got to make the most of this experience. Can you do a lot of stuff sightseeing-wise in Pittsburgh, Kansas? No, you can't, right?
Right.
There's a cornfield, there's a cornfield, there's a cornfield. But what you can do in this is just really have a great bonding period where you really get to know each other even that much better and experience a lot of things. A lot of times over food, right? But this idea that we're going to spend some time together and we're really going to experience the things that we need to experience. And then by doing this, we really gain that springboard that carries us into outdoor and gets us to where we are. And I feel bad for some of our guys. We didn't mention the guys really. We had some that were really close to going, and it's a shame. Amin was so close, and some of the other guys. And 2 years ago, we had one guy that went to indoor. Last year, we had one guy that went to indoor, and then we finished 7th in outdoor. So we usually look at who we are in indoor and say, hey, like this is a bonus with not really an indoor facility to train in, and so we know that our guys will use this as a great springboard for outdoor track and really be successful.
Last question for you today, because you mentioned the outdoor season. Obviously, we're focused on nationals now, but the outdoor is quick and upcoming. Sure. What is the rest of the team doing as we kind of head towards that outdoor season to continue to stay sharp, continue to train? What are the plans there?
Yeah, so we have some that will go on spring break for a little bit. We have some that will be here on the front end of spring break and the back end of spring break. We have some that will stay the whole time and train. And so it's kind of nice with a bigger coaching staff that we can really focus on those athletes. Then once we come back, there's no rest for the weary. We go right into it. We can go as early as March 16th to LR if we so choose to. And we probably will take some javelin and weight throw people and stuff, and we won't take everybody. But then the 23rd, and then just every weekend after that, all the way till May when the conference meet is, and then nationals in mid-May. So we've been going at this since December, and we're going to go at it till June. And if along the way we get a bunch of kids to go to nationals, all the better.
Awesome. Well, congratulations for your performance at SAC Championships, and we wish you, of course, the best of luck as you all head down to nationals. And thank you all for tuning in to the Eagle Sports Network.